How's it going, my ZX family? I appreciate you guys as always, for sticking around and showing so much love. Let's waste no more time and take a look at, what's happening with XRP. If you're enjoying these XRP updates, smash that like button, hit that red subscribe button. But now let's get right into it. So going into Monday morning, we're actually seeing a lot of green across the market right now. A lot of excitement coming on board. If you're looking at XRP's price, it's up about 1% right now. And we're also up about 0.4% in Bitcoin comparative, with the price currently sitting at $2.18, valuation almost approaching the $130 billion once again, and the 24-hour trading volume is at about 1.5 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer for you guys: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So here we have it. One of the biggest key components of this week, this Wednesday, is the FOMC meeting. So Polymarket users predict a 97.5% chance that the Fed will not make any rate cut changes this Wednesday, which pretty much makes us taking a look at the next FOMC meeting, which is scheduled for July, end of July, and then of course September as well. Now, a lot of people projecting that July might not have that rate cut as well. A lot of people are leaning towards September, and this is where in terms of timing, this could really be a perfect timing for the market. But we'll see what happens. If even it starts in July, I think that would be better, because sooner the better. Obviously, that's what people want to see, because I think this could be the focal point for the market to really shift, especially the altcoin market. We'll see what happens. Obviously, right now, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But also, the G7 summit is also taking place in Canada, where all the majority of the big world leaders are coming on board, and obviously are going to be discussing. And I think the focal point also is going to be the trade talks, which of course we're going to hear. So I am expecting volatility in the next upcoming days ahead of us. But moving forward, the value is in the protocol because it is open source and can be accessed by anyone for any purpose. Ripple Interledger, ILP, XRP Ledger. On top of that, ISO 20022 migration set to ramp up over the next 6 months. Around half of central banks have not yet adopted the ISO 20022 messaging standard in the real-time gross settlement system, but most will upgrade soon. And as we know, XRP as ISO 20022 compliant, which of course is where these banks could really start using the Ripple tech finally. And this is going to be the revolutionary time where we finally see this happening at a global scale. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Obviously, this is why we pay attention to the ISO 20022 messaging standard, because the old one is really outdated, and this is where things really see that big shift. Moving forward, BlackRock CEO says bringing traditional capital markets into the digital world that will define the next decade. What does that remind of us? Real world assets tokenization. Once again, a perfect example right in front of our eyes. And moving forward, Ripple RLUSD stablecoin is growing on Ethereum, with supply up 4x since the beginning of the year, which of course shouldn't really be a big surprise for any one of us, because of course as stablecoins are being discussed more and more, this is going to bring in more attraction towards regulatory compliant stablecoins that are already on the market, and this is where RLUSD really shines. So I'm not surprised at the fact that we're seeing the supply up. This just sums it up, compared to the demand factor as well. So moving forward, XRP Ledger Apex focused this year on real-world adoption of the XRPL Ledger. This includes a compliance to allow institutions to interact on the XRPL Ledger, permission domains that give institutions a safeguarding of KYC AML. Participants is must have to the name one, but pay also attention how these compliance building blocks in XRPL DeFi work together. You can use them like Lego bricks, all native and layer one. Once again, a perfect example right in front of us. Early Ripple investor Greg Kidd announced a new project at the recent XRP Las Vegas conference. Kidd revealed that he is working on special bank charter for digital-first companies. The proposal would enable companies like Ripple to obtain a banking license without requiring a physical branches or lending operations. Talk about future of finance. But let's take a look at the dominance. Dominance has pulled down, and I mentioned this in my H-bar update as well as my other altcoin updates. You actually have seen quite a sharp drop for the dominance in just the last 24 hours, while Bitcoin has been able to get back above $106,000. Still having a battle at that key resistance at 106,800. You guys know the importance of that range. We need to turn it into support. If it's able to do that, I've personally projected that 109,000 could be really near, as a target for us. But of course, like I said, expect more volatility this week. Moving forward, if you're looking at XRP, still ranging in the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level. Obviously, we're going to focus on the hourly time frame because that time zone really gives us a better understanding as to what's happening. You can see this for yourself since June 13th. We still are seeing XRP in this upwards trend. You can see we're up about 4.7%. Obviously, nothing explosive right now, but that's not where you really want to see how good the strength of XRP is. You really want to look at it from April lows. There were multiple coins. April was a low after that big pullback. Since then, XRP, the third or the fourth largest asset in the crypto space, is up 35.25%. What's quite impressive, what a lot of people forget, is the fact that we're still in the 23.6 and we have not left the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. A lot of people overlook that, but not on our channel. Thank you for all your support. Love each and every one of you guys. If you have not subscribed, what are you guys being shy about? Hit that red subscribe button. We'll see you later from Crypto ZX, and peace out.